Hello everyone and welcome to another stream of Code with the Italians. Today there is yet a different Italian with us. Turns out there's plenty of Italians if you're if you want to stream. There's like 60 million of us, so even if not all of us are coders, there's enough to do streams. And today we have our new guest, which is Roberto. Roberto, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello! Yeah, my name is Rob, and I'm an engineer at Seb. And yep, I'm yet another Italian, and yes, there are a lot of us for streaming stuff. So I work at the New York Times, and I've been working there for the past 4 years now. And I work on the main reading app, and not much more, I would say. I mean, unless you see some kids running in the stream, that's okay. They're mine, so that's fine.
For my experience of video calls with you, it's generally either kids or cats or stuff falling from the wall behind you.
Yeah. That is the most, well, no, actually, the cat is the scariest. Yeah.
Given today, Ivan is still off, I will be doing the chat duty, which means that I will be every now and then looking down there to see what's going on. Someone saying that they appreciated the meme that I shared on the Telegram channel. If you only follow us on Twitter, maybe you want to also follow us on the Telegram channel, because I I expect I will be sharing more random memes and vines and things like that. But let's get started. So why are we here today and what do we want to do? So firstly, briefly recall what we did last time. So on Sunday, we actually started with doing some more UI. So we had Sasa being our guest, and with him we fixed a few issues, and we started collecting more information about the notifications, and then we improved the UI of the application, and what we have right now is a much nicer looking list. Now, of course, the list of the current notifications is only relatively useful, because after all, those notifications you can also see if you just drop down the notification shade. So what we want to do today with Roberto is to create a database using Room, so that we can store the notifications that we are seeing and keep them there for users if they need them later. Because the idea is, remember that the application at some point will start actually hiding notifications from the notifications bar, shade, panel. Fuck, I forgot the name. Well, whatever. The list of notifications that you get in the system. And the point of having the list in the app is that you can catch on to things that are hidden otherwise. But the idea is that you have to open the app instead of just finding them there. So you're not going to be interrupted, and only if you go and open the app, then you get those notifications until it's time for you to get your serving of notifications. I think I have confused everyone, but that's okay. Our reasoning for having a database is that, well, we could just keep them in memory, but for very obvious reasons, that's not a great idea. Because, as you all know, when an application is put in the background, there's no guarantees that it will be kept in memory. There's no guarantees that the data that it's keeping in RAM will actually stay there for long. So we need to persist that stuff somewhere. So the default storage solution for data according to the gods of Android, is also known as the people that work on the Jetpack libraries, is Room. Hi, it. And today we have Roberto with us because I have almost no experience with Room. And I think Roberto has some or more, well, definitely more than me. Doesn't take much, obviously. So, yeah. Roberto, do you want to explain briefly what is Room, how it works, and what's nice about it?
Yeah, so first, I would say that room we can see room as an layer that simplify the use of a SQLite database on Android. Um, why I say that? Well, mostly because Room is like the retrofit for databases. They work in two different ways, but for our purposes, we need to declare an interface that will define all our operations, like we will do with retrofit, and then we just use them. And most important thing is that Room comes with coroutine support out of the box, and also other asynchronous frameworks that we won't be using because we all love coroutines. So
Uh, there's actually, I don't know if you've seen the chat, someone has asked for your opinion about SQLite, if you have any.
yeah, I have to say that whenever possible, I prefer Room because it's the thing that I'm most used to. It's easy, and unless I have to do something cross-platform, I'd rather use Room just because it's easier and I'm most used to that. There is no bad meaning that, and if you find yourself better with SQLite or even with the JetBrains library for creating databases,
You mean
that's
exposed?
yeah, that one. I didn't remember
Mm.
the name. I used it twice and I loved it, but still, for Android, I prefer Room.
I think it's a bit different though, because exposed is more of like a DSL
Yeah,
implementation for a SQL database rather than what Room actually does, which is object relation management, essentially, like
yeah,
ORM, I think is the name.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Definitely, they work in two different ways. It depends what you have to do, but again, if I were to do anything with Kotlin multi-platform, SQLite would be my go-to.
mhm.
But for Android, Room is just so much more comfy that I mean, that's just it.
Uh, the question was also about the fact that SQLite is multi-platform,
Yeah.
and these days is a big theme. So I don't know. I've only used it once, very briefly, just like for Room. I've only had some minor experience with it. At the time, I was actually looking to use it with not on Android, on the desktop, well, on backend with uh, Postgres SQL database instead of a SQLite one, and it wasn't really properly supported yet, so I ended up not using it. But it was something that I had considered, and it looked very nice. And the couple of tests that I did with SQLite worked very well. So
Yeah. Well, I used SQLite only on what concerns mobile because I was doing um, I was creating an app for both Android and iOS. And so basically, I extracted my repository in Kotlin and used SQLite and Ktor for network,
mm,
and they work pretty well together. But again, when I'm on Android, I didn't encounter yet a case when Room fails or it's too complicated. So at some point, I think that probably I'm misjudging the problems because it usually really feels like it's easier. Um, so
yeah, I remember using Room when it was just out, the first version, and I recall having some issues with, I think joins weren't really supported, and it just like it was kind of supported, or maybe it was like M2N relations. It was a mess and it didn't really work, but it was like years ago, and I'm sure it's been fixed in the meantime. Um, there's also, sorry, there's a question, follow up question, I guess is for me, which is if you haven't used Room that much or SQLite, what have you been using instead? I don't know any other popular alternatives. Well, I have been using an unpopular alternative, uh, which is, well, again, not for Android. I mostly work in my day job. Well, I work on my day job mostly on backend and desktop development. In particular, I work at JetBrains, so I obviously work inside of IntelliJ, well, the IntelliJ platform to be specific, and my product also has a backend. So that's what I do most of the time. I'm doing Android more on the side to keep up with it because I still enjoy it. And so in that case, because of the needs to have like a PostgreSQL database and all those different things on the backend, then we ended up using, I think it's like a fork of Exposed, essentially. We're working with Exposed to fix a couple of blockers that prevented us from using it entirely. But yeah, essentially we are using something that looks a lot like Exposed, but isn't exactly Exposed, but we want to get stuff to work with Exposed so we can drop our custom code in favor of Exposed. The the reasoning of why not using Room, well, obviously it's only available on Android, and as for not using SQLite was because it didn't at the time, I don't know if it does now, support PostgreSQL. So yeah, that's the TLDR. Do you want to say anything else about Room, Roberto, by any chance?
Well, that we should start using that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so let's switch to the code. You can see on the right hand side, fuck me, the emulator here with the UI that we developed on Sunday with Sasa. Now we have a bunch of notifications that are simply the ones that are also available in the status bar. Also, I just noticed that the emulator has lost the pixel skin around it, and I haven't touched that.
Probably it's just
Just the magic. But I'm happy because that wasted space. I don't need it in here.
Yep,
So
that's better.
that's good for me.
That's better.
Before we proceed, I have done some changes the other day in the project when I was... stop showing me the Android view. Fucking stupid Android view. While I wasn't on the stream because I noticed that the CI wasn't working correctly that we set up a week ago with Lamberto. We were having a problem with essentially this task that collects the Sarif reports. I think it's a bug in Gradle, and I have reported it to them, but I don't know if they'll ever look at it. But the problem was that if Android lint fails, this whole task disappears from the build. Like it doesn't exist anymore for Gradle.
Well, it really sounds exactly what you want.
Yes. And after a couple of hours of profuse swearing and random attempts at fixing shit, it turns out that the part that I have selected was the fix. So adding this, for whatever reason, I have no fucking clue, it fixes it. So yeah, if you ever find yourself needing to do something like this, that works. Just FYI, I don't even know why. I don't know why it didn't work. I don't know why it does now. it makes no sense. Yes, classic Gradle, indeed. Okay, so that said, let's get started with shit. So we go to the Android Jetpack, blah blah blah, whatever. No, I don't like popular things. I don't want popular things. Also, how can they be all and popular at
At
the
the
same
same time.
time? Is this like bragging? I suppose it's under data. Yes, room.
Yes.
There's an asterisk. I don't like asterisk. Oh, okay. It's just this. Okay.
Popular and often
So now I can select popular? Oh. Oh. Okay. Whatever.
Okay.
So we need to use room.
But
Declaring dependencies. That's the reason why I was here, was to copy paste this shit.
I don't know if you noticed, but there was a SQLite right below room, and it said use room instead.
Yeah, I guess this is just a thin wrapper on top of SQLite.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I've never seen this. androidx.sqlite.db.
No, me neither.
I think this might just be the compat version of the platform APIs.
Yeah,
Probably.
I would think so also because it doesn't really make sense to develop two different
I
things.
also like that this was born at version 2.0.1.
Because why?
Apparently. Yeah, I think that's indeed like the raw SQL stuff with cursors and everything. Essentially the same APIs you would get in Android.db or something like that. I don't remember what the package is, but whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Let's see what we need to do. So we need to get the room version. Let me close some shit that I had open. Just checking what is the latest version. androidx.room. I am perfectly aware there's a search box there, but I choose to ignore it. Runtime. Well, we are alphaing everything, so I would say 240 alpha 02 is what we're going for. So we need the runtime, we need the annotation processor. I guess we need the extensions and coroutine support. We don't do tests yet, so we're currently YOLOing the shit out of this. That's fine.
Makes sense.
Okay. So let's add room.
Did you already add KPT?
Yeah, we already have KAPT for Dagger.
Okay, good. I see Fabio passing there.
Yep. Indeed. Then I will actually move this here, and this is compiler, and this is KAPT. And then we also have to add the room-ktx.
Room KTX.
Room KTX. Okay.
It was like 240.
240 alpha 02.
Yeah.
I am impressed that I remember it. Is it dash or underscore? Damn it. Oh, dash. Okay. Usual. Okay. So now we sync, and we should have... it shouldn't blow up. Let's put it this way.
It shouldn't, but you never know.
Exactly. Okay. It seems like it has not, which is good. Sorry, I need to make it shut up. It doesn't know Jake Wharton? What?
I don't know why. Everyone knows Jake Wharton on Android.
I thought Jake was famous. Okay, so we have room. Now, what the fuck do I do, Robbie?
So, do you have a repository or something like that?
No, we don't. It's a good moment to create one.
Yeah, let's create a repository.
Okay, so...
So you know what we're gonna do today?
No.
We are gonna actually use a flow. Haha! I love
flow,
that.
yeah. I like flows. We already use flows.
that I recently switched from live data to flows.
Ah,
I
yeah.
was a bit hesitant, but I have to say that I really like it.
There's a
Um,
lot of really good stuff with lifecycle in the latest lifecycle alpha
mm,
that makes it super easy to observe something like a life cycle as a flow, which makes it in turn very easy to do stuff
oh,
when the life cycle changes in a flow, which is good. Um, there's a question. Have you seen the approach Google Compose samples use for dependencies with a build source folder that holds all dependencies and then import them like implementation blah blah blah, for example? Have you got any opinions on that? Yes, don't do that. It's a terrible idea for two reasons. Reason number one, a build source folder, if you use any version of Gradle earlier than I think 7 or maybe 6.8 point something, but definitely one of those two, has a problem, which is it cannot be cached, which means that every time you run the project, it needs to reconfigure the whole project. So the configuration phase lasts longer for no reason whatsoever. Um, which is a bit of a shame considering that in Gradle 6.8 they added configuration caching, which should make your project configure faster. But then it doesn't if you have that, which is not great. I would rather create a separate module that you depend on that exposes a Gradle plugin that does that shit for you. But in Gradle 7.0, there is an official way to do that that isn't hacky and actually generates all that boilerplate for you, which is using a TOML file. I haven't done it yet, but essentially it's a text file you throw in the root of the repository where the settings.gradle is. And it's in a format that Gradle knows how to parse. It parses it, it does everything for you, and then you end up with exactly the same thing, which is in your build.gradle. You end up with implementation, library name, and you're done. And that's the best way to do that. How come they're doing that? Not many know about the new thing in Gradle 7, and Gradle 7 was out recently, probably because of that. Are we gonna do that new approach for bundles sometime in the future? Probably, because I haven't tried it yet and I want to try it. So yes, eventually we will. Gradle version catalogs. Thank you, Omar. That's the name, and I always forget it. But
I was about to mention that Omar was the one that brought that to me, and
oh yeah, I know. Like before starting the stream with Lamberto the other week, last week, he was like, "Oh, do we want to use this?" And I'm like, "Yes, but not today. We have other stuff to do first." So yes, it's in my mental backlog. We will eventually do that sooner rather than later. Maybe on Sunday if I have 10 minutes to do it. Let's see. Okay, so we were creating the repository.
yep,
And we will call it Roberto repository
it
in
makes
your
sense.
honor. Are you happy, Roberto?
I'm always happy about this.
Good.
Okay, so we have our repository, but I just remember that we don't know what we're gonna return because we don't have yet a notification. Or we do.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so open that class.
Ta-da! It's a
So,
bit of a mess, but it's not the problem because when Ivan is back, he's gonna take care of fixing this shit because he likes it.
okay, we have two approaches here. We either save this exact data structure to room, or we flatten it so that we avoid having nested objects.
So what I was considering with Sasa on Sunday is that probably the best approach to this is to save the notification parcelable in the database as it is, and then recreate the notification entry from it when we read it, plus putting like extracting some information alongside it, such as like the timestamp and maybe the package of the application that sent it, because we might need to use those in queries.
Okay. Well,
Um,
actually, you don't need to parcelize that to save into room. You can
it's
save
already a
exactly
parcel.
this.
Well,
You can save exactly this. Actually, it's easier.
this is a parcelable. That's why I was saying, well, just dump that shit in the database and read it when we need it.
Yep. But it's quite easy. Imagine that you want to save just this as it
Yep.
is. You just
Yep.
need to add an at entity annotation with capital E to the data class.
Yep.
And
Oh,
that,
to the whole data class here, you mean?
yep,
Okay, but we don't want to do that yet.
okay.
There's actually a question, which is why would you flatten? How important is that?
Uh, well, in this case, it's not that important.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have super nested objects which become huge, it might impact your performances when you're reading and writing. Mm,
Am I doing it right?
yep, yep, exactly.
Yay! I'm smart. Haha.
Now you just need to add all the fields.
Boring.
That's why I told you to use that other one. So
Yeah, I know, but there's too many things here that are
that you
not
don't need.
particularly important. So I would just, you know, YOLO this.
Okay, so
I don't remember why this is nullable, by the way. It probably shouldn't be.
One thing
Yeah, it
that
doesn't
is
need to
quite
be.
important about Room
Oh, no, I know
is
why.
that when you define your entity, which are
Yep,
your tables,
yep.
you don't need to specify an underscore ID as you would need to do if you were like using
Mm-hmm.
another database like out of the box. It does that
Yep.
automatically for you.
Okay.
So it's
So this will create like a val underscore ID, whatever, blah, 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 blah here, right?
uh,
For me, and I don't need to create it.
yep,
That's what you're saying. Okay.
exactly.
I
One
guess
thing,
I want to just to put another couple of things here. I want the timestamp, which is a long, and the val app package, which is a string. Oh, let's call it package name.
okay.
Okay, and
And what is the status bar notification? What's inside there?
that's the thing that comes from the system.
Okay.
It's the parcelable thing that we are just dumping in the.
Okay. Well, probably it will break something, but that's
Yes. It is probably going to break something.
we'll fix that.
Indeed.
Okay.
Good. So, the Roberto
Okay.
repository.
Now we have Roberto repository because we need to remember that. So the next step would be to define the operations that we want to perform on our database. So we need to create a DAO.
Okay.
So that would need to be
A DAO, for those who don't know, is a data access object. Is
yeah.
the thing you use to access the data, right?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
So that would be an interface or an abstract class based on how much code you need to put. In our case, an interface will do the trick because what we want to do now is basically select all and an insert.
I will name shit randomly and then rename them at the end, probably.
That's fine. Okay, so the first thing is a method that we use to insert a notification. So just call it insert and pass there the notification that you want.
Okay. I need to pass the
entity.
DB notification, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then you need to add an annotation to this method.
Yep.
Which is called @insert, and there's a parameter you need to specify what you want to specify the conflict resolution strategy. So there is a default, which, if I remember correctly, is abort. Probably,
Abort!
yeah, probably we want to replace that. So should be,
Replace.
yeah,
Yes.
second one, yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh
Are you
yeah, it's
drunk,
called,
Stevie?
it's not insert, it's called on conflict strategy. So just remove the insert dot. No.
Okay.
Okay. So then we want
Read them
to read them all. Yes.
and delete one or delete all of them. I don't know.
It depends on you.
I mean, why not both?
Okay, so if you want to, well, now let's query for them all. Yeah, get
Yep.
notifications is good. So this can be a suspending function.
Oh. But why
I mean,
not
also
the
the
insert?
insertion can, yeah, also that doesn't
Okay.
usually make that much sense to make the insertion, but they can be suspending function as well.
By the way, there's a question. Can it be either interface or abstract class? What's the reason why would you choose either? Why you would choose?
Because, well, that was more true in Java. But you might want to have transactions that are more complicated. So instead of having normal operations, simple operation like insert, query, delete, or update, you can create transactions so that you can create custom insertion and deletion logic. So for instance, for some reasons you want to add in your DAO a method that will only delete some elements if they are older than a given timestamp. Yeah,
Which sounds like something we will need. So
yeah, but probably it's not the place. Well, it's not where I will do it, but that is where we're gonna use an abstract class, so that the methods can still be created by room compiler. Sorry, from the annotation processor. But you can add your custom logic.
Okay.
Okay, so here what you want to do is add in the @query annotation.
I was looking for an @select annotation.
@query. And then here you actually write the query. So select asterisk, which I don't remember how it's called in English. So
Asterisk.
Good. From that
what's the
should
table
be
name?
Capital, and the table name is called DB notification. If you check,
okay, that's what
it will tell you automatically. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you can also
Cool.
change the name of the table if you want.
Yeah, I would probably do that. How do you do
then
that?
let's go to the DB notification and add the parameter to the @entity annotation. So if you open that,
table name,
you see that there is a table name. Yeah.
Notifications. Okay. Oh yeah, indices and stuff. We don't need it yet, so it's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Also, all this stuff can be declared inside. Also, if you want, for instance, the app package name to be called app_package_name, it can be done pretty easily. You just need to add @column name and column info, and then you pass in the name. So just remember that when you are
this wants something else.
No, they should add the name parameter. Yeah.
Okay. Boring.
So just remember that if you have a query for the app package name, you need to use the name of the column inside the query. So that's
okay.
Perfect. So what else do we want to do? We want to delete.
Well, essentially truncate the table. Which means to empty it.
Okay, so
So clear notifications.
Okay, so here we have two ways of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is by using the @delete annotation,
See, yes.
but
Haha.
that's a but because in that way it expects a parameter, which is the notification that you want to delete. Or we can leverage the query annotation and just say delete from notification. So instead, or also that. I don't know if that's supported though.
Ah,
So
is
if
that a
you,
SQLite thing? Well,
well, it looks like it's something where we want to
delete from table
actually delete from.
name.
Yeah, that would
That's it,
be
right?
everything.
I don't need a where clause because I don't have one.
Well, if you want a timestamp and
Yep.
say where, but with
Well,
log might be more complicated to manage for us. So
but
we
like I
can
would create
later.
another one with the parameter, right?
Yep. And then, okay, yeah, where timestamp.
Is less than, older
No,
than.
okay. To access the variable, you need to add a colon before the name. So
A colon.
yeah,
Okay.
and you see that now it recognizes it
Mm-hmm.
by that.
Okay.
Okay, now we just need, in order for Room to understand all this stuff, to add the @DAO annotation to this interface.
Okay. Cool.
Okay,
Easy.
perfect.
It is like retrofit. You weren't joking.
Yeah, but there is a small step. Well, no, also in retrofit there is a small step. It is to create a database.
Mm.
Okay, so you need to create now an abstract class
Yep.
which inherits from Room database.
Okay. So class. Okay. We call it Roberto database.
It makes sense.
That inherits from room database.
Yeah, and you want that to be abstract because that's gonna be generated as well. Yep. Okay, you need to add the constructor. Okay. So a couple of things that might go wrong when developing with Room. The first thing is that you want to version your database
Okay.
because it generates the script to create a database and fill it with
Mm-hmm.
data. So you might want to do that to version the database so you can add migrations when you release the app.
How do
For
you do
us, it
that?
doesn't make sense. Sorry, come again?
How do you do that?
That's what we're going to do right now. Add an
Okay.
database annotation to your database class.
Yep. Give me 1 second. I needed to rename that because it was really bothering me. Add database. Okay.
Okay, now as a parameter, it expects an array of entities. So you just declare entities, and inside you add your DB notification class. In here, you have to specify all the tables that you want it to include. And then you add the version. So if you want to export your schema for any reason, you just need to add the export schema parameter
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. Okay, so now, since we want these, we want to be able to access the DAO, we need to create an abstract method inside that will return the DAO itself. So you can just call it DAO, and it will
No, we'll
return.
call it Roberto.
It makes all the sense.
And returns a Roberto DAO.
Okay, so now we have everything that we need for the database,
Okay.
and we just need to create manually to create the database because Room gives us two options.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is an in-memory database,
Mm-hmm.
which can be okay for testing and developing. and a stable database. For us, it doesn't change anything because once we declare the database, um, we use them in the same way. So probably for developing, I would suggest to create an in-memory database, but we can do that in our DI module if we have one.
Yes, which I don't even remember where we declared, if we even did. I think we had it. I don't know what it is anymore. I don't see anything anywhere.
Okay, it's not a problem. We can create one.
Yay!
Okay, wherever you
'Cause
want.
the
Just
activity has annotations, but there's nothing to inject, so
yeah, no, it doesn't. Well, we need to create a module because we need to create some logic to create the database.
okay.
Uh,
Roberto
there is
module.
hello, yeah. Okay.
Class. Okay. Oh yeah, I haven't put internal in any of them. Damn. Give me a sec. I will be with you in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now my OCD is happy.
Okay, so first declare that as a module. So you need to add the it module annotation and where you want to create that. I would suggest to create it in the application level.
Yeah, it's probably a singleton, right?
Yeah. I don't remember. It should be called, well, the annotation is at installing. Wait, no, don't go there. Installing, yeah. And then it should be a singleton component, or application component. I don't remember how.
Singleton component?
Yeah. Dot common class. Okay, so now everything we declare here will be available in the whole application. So
I suppose I need to provide the Roberto database.
yes. Now you want to pass as parameter the application because that's the context that you have there.
Okay, so application, well, just needs to be an application. Okay.
Yeah, and so what you want to do now is creating your database.
Okay.
So you would invoke it with room dot. Now we create. I would suggest an in-memory database builder.
Okay.
Then you pass in the context and the class of the database. And then you just add then .build. There are other methods, but for the moment we don't care. Since it's just an in-memory database for the moment, that's yeah. Also, you might want to add a net provides annotation
Yep.
to the.
Okay.
Okay, now it's time to rebuild everything. If everything turns yellow, we didn't make anything wrong.
You mean red?
No, I expect it to turn yellow. But if it's red, yeah, that's more complicated to fix.
I mean, there's KAPT involved. There's probably gonna be red.
Yeah, if you want, we could switch to KSP, but I would rather trust KAPT for this and switch to KSP to try.
The problem is we already have to use KAPT for Dagger anyway, so
yeah.
Until Dagger migrates to KSP, well, Hilt actually. Oh look, it's red.
Okay.
Cannot figure out how to save this field into database.
Yep, the status bar notification. Yay! Okay, I expected that to be exactly what we cannot save. So this is not a big deal.
There's a question while we're on the.
No. We don't.
on the module?
We don't need to add any singleton with yield. That's already managed by yield. Everything declared.
This does it automatically, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So what we need to do now is creating something that will convert our
This?
status bar notification in something that
Okay, yeah.
it actually understands. Um, so
This bad boy.
let me just find.
Let me Google that.
I don't remember the exact syntax. I know exactly what we should be doing, but I don't remember the syntax. It should be that add type converter or add type converters, or never remember that. Anyway, we should define first how we can save that status bar notification. I think that room can handle serialized items.
Should handle parcelable as well, like I would expect it to.
I have never tried, but there's always a first in everything.
I guess. Question. So it wouldn't create a new one each time, even if we don't say at singleton. Yes, that's done with a different annotation. Yes, it's the install in singleton component annotation that implicitly adds an at singleton here, essentially. But I don't know the details. That's my intuitive understanding, which is probably wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you found what to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, but
Good.
just need to. I mean, I could open any of my projects just to check the syntax, but no, I'm googling it, so it's gonna be faster.
Probably.
Or not. Yeah. Okay, so well, it was easier. So you might want to create an object somewhere.
Like a random object.
Yeah, that's where we store our conversions. That makes sense. Now you need to create two methods. The first one is to convert from notification status bar notification, and this will take as parameter.
Okay. So I can do like status bar notification dot to dp notification. And this doesn't actually need any parameters. That's fine. And this dp notification.
Oh wait, no. Because the db notification actually includes the status bar notification. So you may want to return there a parsealable. So we check if room supports parsealable. Not 100% sure that it does, but we can definitely try. And here you want to return the parsealable implementation, parsealable version of status bar notification.
But
worst case scenario, yeah.
Is a parcelable.
Okay, so you just return it as a parcelable. I should do the trick.
Okay.
Okay, and then add the
like this?
I'm not 100% sure that it actually will work with extension functions, because this is going to be generated. You can try.
But does this need to be in an object, or can they be top level functions?
No, they can be whatever. I usually place them in an object so it's easier to find. It can be.
Screw you, Roberto. Screw you.
It's also easier. Actually, no, wait a minute. No, it's easier. And also remove the extension function and pass them as parameter, because I'm pretty sure that it does some magic, and you might want to wrap them into an object, so because you need to pass them to your database.
Okay, so I can do like status bar notification dot to dp notification, and this doesn't actually need any parameters.
No,
But
because you need to pass them to your database. Otherwise, the database doesn't know how to use them. And you have to mark um, you have to mark them with at type converter with capital T and capital C. And then you have to pass it.
Do I need to do this?
No, that's when you have multiple and you want to do magic stuff that
I don't like magic.
me neither.
Well, not in code. I like magic, but not in code.
So you want to go now in the database and add another annotation, which is called at type converters. And in here you pass your object class. I mean, it could be also a class if you prefer, if you don't want it to be an object. It was all work and no play, no fun. Yeah. Okay, now we should be able, if it supports per syllable, we should be okay.
Let's try our luck.
Let's see. Otherwise, it's gonna be.
Nope. Wait. Let me. Just because I don't trust KAPT.
You shouldn't trust KPT.
No, it doesn't like it. Entities and POJOs must have a usable public constructor. What? You can have an empty constructor or a constructor whose parameters match the fields by name and type. What? You drunk?
Oh no, that's okay. We didn't define
Not sure how to convert a cursor to this method's return type.
Yeah, we have two errors here. First one, we didn't declare a primary key.
Okay.
And also, I think that it doesn't know how to save the status bar notification into parsable. So what we should be doing, we should be using as a primary key.
None of these.
No.
I don't think that this has like an oh yeah, it does have an ID, but you cannot use it.
No.
Screw you, Android.
Is something that we can have?
Get ID. Okay, you can do get ID.
Okay.
Yes, but this is probably not going to work. We probably need to create one from like the package name and the ID and the timestamp to make it unique.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can create a GUID and just throw it in as a GUID, but that wouldn't be reproducible, I guess.
Most definitely no. But that's fine. I mean, as long as he understands that can be a string, yeah, and mark it as at primary key with capital P and capital K. Okay.
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 I don't think this is used anywhere
No.
yet. No. Okay.
So it actually created everything already. The only thing that I'm not super convinced that is that it actually can save the status bar notification as a parser. But worst case scenario, we can always save that into a file and just yeah.
Cannot figure out how to save this field into database. You can consider adding a type converter for it, but I have.
Yeah, we have that.
I have. That's why I don't understand.
Because probably doesn't know how to.
This error message is fairly useless because it doesn't say what it doesn't know how to deal with.
Okay.
It looks like it's trying to use Kotlin.unit for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think that it has something to do with the status bar notification. It is not able to.
Yeah.
Return the.
But I guess what I can do, the problem maybe is that I should actually have that as a parcelable here.
And then we don't need the type converter then.
Let's see if that works.
Then in that case, we don't need the type converter, so
Yeah, I mean this is kind of shit, but wait, let me just in case.
yeah. Sometimes it also deleting manually the build cache one works. It does
Nope, still.
because parcelable,
It's an
parcelable.
interface and it doesn't like interfaces, I think.
So one thing that we can do is serialize these in some ways and either save it serialized. I know that we have parcelable and serialize it is bad, or we can save it in cache and just get the cache file name saved in the database. Those are two options that we can explore.
I mean, we can save it to disk and just save the notification path here, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the notification. But if we have the ID already, that's probably enough.
If we calculate it, we don't need to save anything else.
Yeah, indeed. So let me do notification entry, and I will add an unique ID here or something.
Yeah.
Well, unique ID, which is what did we say?
We said ID and timestamp and package name.
Yeah, okay. And I will just do no ID, timestamp, and body. Actually, it's probably makes more sense to start with the package name, so it's easier to find them. It's it's app info dot package name. There you go. Okay. And this.
I want to add also there is a dollar sign missing. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we have our unique ID thing.
Okay, then just to be sure, remove the type converters from the database. So it doesn't need, okay. Now it should be able to.
Bye. Okay, and let's try now. KPT still?
Aha, this is.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't trust it, but I don't trust it.
No, I should. Well, these.
Nope, still.
Wow.
Okay.
This is
okay.
weird.
Okay. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck this. And try again.
Yeah, I mean, there is also always the solution of making it nullable, but it shouldn't be that.
So what is it complaining about? Get notifications.
Oh wait, let's go DAO.
DAO. Oh fuck.
We didn't. You don't really need to declare it as a. Well, that's fine. Whatever. Otherwise, it would just be. I mean, it depends on how you want to do that. You expect it to update while the UI.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I was thinking if it should be a flow of lists, or just a.
Oh yeah, flow of a list. Yeah, if you want to get all the notification, yeah.
I guess there's a way to do paging, but I don't care about it for now.
Yeah, there is, but I'm not sure it works with Compose just yet.
Yeah, also that probably. Okay.
Not sure how to. Wait a minute.
Is that it doesn't like flow?
Probably not. Probably just to return
Uh,
them as a list. Yeah. That's weird though. I mean, it makes sense that it doesn't know how to create a flow, but
it did not know how to create a flow.
yeah,
Da-na-na-na.
and now it works. Perfect.
Fuck.
Yep, I definitely agree. But hey, now we can actually add it to our repository.
I want to try this again.
Yeah, if you want to add that, probably let's see if it works. Yeah. Try to add it as a parcelable and see if that works. If it works as a parcelable,
No, it doesn't either. That's stupid.
no.
Let me try to clean just in case. No, it doesn't like it.
No, doesn't know at all. Eh.
Maybe I need a type converter, but then
Now with the parcelable, how would you convert a parcelable into
a
anything else?
fucking byte array like an animal. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
easier
that
to just
doesn't
save it to
sound
the
like a
disk
good
at this
approach.
point. I do need though a something like a notifications disk cache.
Yeah.
Or just cache. We already have that, Daniele. Unfortunately, we already have that. Oh, or do we? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do have that, but I think that it doesn't support flow just yet.
Yeah, I might just be coroutines and not flow. Unfortunately. Anyway, so how do we do the cache? This is gonna be a bitch.
Well, not really. We can use the cache deer on Android. If only I did something like that recently. Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
but that's like the Android one, the LRU cache. Does that do disk stuff?
oh no, I want to create a file in the cache directory so it can be cleaned easily.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that LRU cache actually can help.
Room 2.2 and higher. We have 2.4. I want to say room version. Yeah, it's 2.4. It
Yeah.
should be there. I don't know.
Yeah. Probably we don't want the function to be both suspending and return a flow.
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, that's right. Got the suggestion from another comment. Let's see if that works. I've never used flows with room, to be honest.
How?
So sure.
How do you even database?
With coroutines usually.
But
Not
it's
a
a
super
one-off,
fan of-
right?
Come
Like
again?
you need data to be updated when it changes. Yeah, it likes this, so it just
Yeah.
doesn't need. It needs not to be a suspend function. We have learned something.
Yay! Thanks,
Wahoo!
Paolo, for the suggestion.
Okay, so the cache thing. How would you do that?
Yep. Let me open yet another project.
Your secret code.
Yeah, I have. So you have to know that I often forgot even how I'm called. Like, what's my name? I often forget that as well. So yeah. So what I did was creating a cache file with the name of the notification.
Yep.
And basically, you create a file from. We also need the context. Oh yeah, you already added it there, and you use file.context.cachedir to create a file. Yeah. Oh no, just cachedir. That will give you the.
Yeah, that's the folder, but I need to create shit in there.
Oh yeah, you just need to do file. As the first parameter, you pass the cachedir, and the second parameter, you pass the the name that you want. Yeah. Okay. Then in order to, yeah, that makes sense. If you want to write, it's actually pretty easy. I don't know, because we need to understand that we want to save the parsable as a file.
Okay, private fun save.
We can actually
Well,
save as a byte array, right?
yeah.
Yeah. That's bad, but that's something we can do.
Write the file. Pass the file, and this is
File dot
write
write.
bytes, and that's okay. Do I need to manage the something?
Yeah, you
No.
probably want to use the file. So file dot use, so it closes automatically.
I don't think file is closable.
Oh yeah,
No,
you
it
need
is not.
something.
Yeah, this does all the closing thing for us. That's
Okay,
fine.
because print writer doesn't do that.
No, but that's a writer is different.
Yeah.
Like the write something is an atomic operation. A writer is something that you keep using, so that's why it doesn't close it for you.
Oh yeah, write bytes that does everything.
So I
Does
need the
everything.
byte array from a parseable. How the fuck do I do that? This
Very good
dot
question.
write to parcel? No.
Question.
How does one? Oh yeah.
So byte. Oh, it looks like a lot of people actually. How to Marshall in a Marshall parcel. Oh, write to
There's
parcel.
Omar. Omar. Thank you, Omar. But
That's
it's
all.
in Java.
Oh yeah, but that's exactly what I was looking at.
Yeah. So I will just
I don't want to know why Omar brought this. Honestly, I
there's
will ask him
probably reasons that are
close
horrible.
to ours.
Yeah.
Omar, if you're still there, please paste a comment and say and tell us why you did that. Please.
Well, I don't need this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'll put a kind notice here. Yeah, it's very old.
Omar, it's time to update. I have proof that you don't like Java.
Okay.
Okay.
Write the parcel. Yeah, now I remember this bloody dance of death. Right.
Probably we can convert that to an extension function. So we just say,
Yeah, but we don't need this anymore essentially, but this is like, yeah, I will definitely do this convert. No, what did I do? Yes, I know it's not meant to be written to disk. The thing is, in a certain version of Android, there is like a notification has always been the same. It might cause problems when you upgrade the Android version. So maybe we should do like a check and just dump the database in those cases, but well, dump the cache really.
yeah.
But let's worry about that when we get to the point where it actually makes sense. Okay, fine. I'll call it 2 byte array, and this is to parcelable.
Well, now at this point we can pass the the status notification whatever.
Yes. Because I think we need to call this one that takes
Yes.
this. Okay, and that will take a creator, and that would be yes. Okay, fine. Because then we have the file dot read as status bar notification. Okay, and this will be something like file dot read just read bytes dot to parcelable, and this is status bar notification dot creator. Okay,
and that should do the trick. Now we just need something that
I feel very dirty about this.
Yeah, but
It's
if you
not
want
great, but
if you want, we can actually inject the context. So we
yeah. So I feel
but there
less
should
dirty.
be an application instead of a context. No, you need to add @inject constructor before the constructor. Space @inject constructor.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to see if I could save some typing.
No, @inject alone, no constructor.
Oh, okay.
And there should be an application, yeah, because otherwise Hill doesn't know how to provide the context.
Fair enough. That's okay. Okay,
we just need something to invoke it from the outside.
Yeah, so we have a public get get status bar or null. What actually call it?
Actually, it looks like we don't have anything nullable.
Huh? Yeah, but the file might not exist.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know if it should throw in that case.
Probably yes, because if it's in the database but it's not in the cache, we don't know how to replicate it. So.
Yeah, but that would also like returning null would also do the same thing. But anyway, let's do cached file 4, and I need the notification ID. Okay. And then I need to do a require file dot exists, and this is gonna throw no entry found for notification ID, and then the notification ID. Okay.
Oh, I learned that requires exist. That's interesting.
Yeah, there's two things that you can use. One is require, that is to check arguments, and will throw an illegal argument exception if the value is false.
Okay.
And there's also check, and both check is for illegal state exceptions. So this is for like runtime conditions, and you can check that something is kind of like an assertion in a way.
Ah,
And it throws illegal state exception if the value is false, and you can also pass the lazy message as well. Another very useful thing is that both require and check have not null, so require not null, which is handy because here is notification ID, for example, and just lol. And this is very handy, because the compiler understands this, so it will be smart casted to non-nullable.
oh,
And it's also very handy because you can do val non-null equals that. So you can use it instead of the double exclamation and provide like a proper error message on why it's supposed not to be null.
oh, that's interesting.
And the same thing goes for check, by the way. Check not null does the same thing, but throws an illegal state exception. So depending what you want, you can do this, and it's super useful. It's a thing I've found out relatively recently that they actually return. I've always used it like this to
Okay.
check preconditions, but turns out there's more to it, and it's super useful. Okay, so the file exists, and now we need to do file.read a status bar notification. Okay, cool.
And then we need to do the same for writing. And
technically, it would be a good idea to have a memory cache as well.
Yeah.
But we can do that easily, but we'll do it later. And then we need a save, right? And this actually takes a
notification, status bar notification.
And a notification ID.
Yeah.
And this is simply we need to do the same thing. And I don't know if we want to fail if the file exists already.
No, because
you should never call this if it's already in the cache, right?
Yeah, but if it's so, what might be happening is that since we're using a memory cache with room, I expect it to fail every time we basically restart the app.
What do you mean?
Because if we have all the same IDs for the notification, I don't know how those notifications are created, but if they're always the same,
yep.
If we check that the file exists, when we're gonna save them from the repository, it's gonna fail again. So probably we don't.
Okay, so we just do if file.exists. So fail silently.
Yeah.
I was just going to put it on the responsibility on the caller, but whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Notification dot wait.
Write to file.
Write to file. Yes. Okay. I don't know what I clicked. This is fine. I think the mem cache, we can do it later if we still have time, but it's getting a bit late, so let's try and just wrap this up.
Yeah, we just need to do that in the repository.
Okay, so now we have here the repository. Do we need to inject it with the database?
The database and the storage. Yeah.
Yes. So
cache, sorry.
Inject constructor, yes please, and this is private file. Do I need to put in the DAO or the database?
Oh, the database, because we don't provide the DAO.
Right, you're correct. Private val cache.
I mean, if you want, we can provide the DAO. It's simply just adding another method to the module, but
Meh. I don't know what we need to like. Do we need to use the database or?
DAO,
I mean, it just has this, right?
yeah,
Okay.
just that. So we can also do that ourselves. And
Okay. So now we have fun get notifications, and this is a suspend function. Because I need to do some manipulation in here because I need to read shit, so I need to go the context blah blah blah. Okay, so get notifications. This does database, I guess.
database.
Roberto. I love my APIs.
That makes sense. Dot get
Get
notifications.
notifications, and then I need to do map. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And in here,
We have a list, or
well, first of all, this is probably just going to return the flow because we're
okay.
mapping things, and here we need to do.
Wait, are we sure that we don't want to collect it first? Because now you have a list of
Yes.
notification, but you might want to have a notification only to map it.
You mean flatten it?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
Not really, but it was just because otherwise you have to cycle in the map. Now.
I mean, sure, I can collect, but then I need to retransform it as a flow.
Yeah, it's also true.
So it doesn't really make sense. I need to stay in the flow.
Is there a way to get inside the list from the flow?
Well, yes, this.
I was wondering, what does the flat map in this case do? If there is a flat map.
There is flat map, but flat map here would be, oh fuck, I don't know. Takes a list and returns a flow of R. And flat map concat, I don't know what's the difference, to be honest.
Oh, me neither. I didn't even know it had a flat map. So
What does conflate? Conflates flow emissions via conflated channel and runs collector in a separate coroutine. The emitter is never suspended due to slow collector, but a collector always gets the most. I think we might want to do this because the shit before the shit in here is gonna be slow. But maybe. We'll reason about it later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to get the DB notification and do cache dot get status bar notification for DB notification dot notification ID, and I need to try this, and if it results in a IO. No, wait, there was a illegal argument exception, not access.
Illegal argument, probably. Remember?
Yeah, it was argument. I just had auto-completed the wrong thing. By the way, let me close this. Okay. So if that's if that doesn't exist, we should actually drop that from the database.
Yes.
Which might be problematic though.
Oh, why is that?
Because this will re-emit immediately, and it sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, that was Probably good use of coroutines rather than flow.
Yeah, but I need the flow. Like I need to know when the coroutines change, the notifications change.
Hmm.
Because the idea is that a new notification comes in and it needs to show immediately. I don't want to refresh by hand.
Yeah, well, we can save it.
Yeah, I was
Like,
actually going to do this. Well, not even a set, just a list of string. It's ugly, but it will work for now. And this is TP notification dot notification ID. Okay, and
then
then
probably want to return null there.
yeah, and then I do a map not null. Null map not null, and this is notifications because then I have gotten the status bar notification. Perfect. And this is notifications, and then I do database dot Roberto dot
We don't have anything to clear from.
okay, I will do it now.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this all this shit needs to be with context. Dispatchers dot io.
Yeah.
Okay, because we touched the disk, and I guess I mean technically this
Yeah,
should
all
also
these.
be with context. Okay. Okay, so that does stuff on the IO dispatcher. This does stuff on the IO dispatcher, and I guess we can actually launch a new coroutine in here, but it kind of sucks, so I'm not sure we want to do it.
What do you want to do here?
Just to launch this asynchronously, like fire and forget shit.
Okay.
But the problem is that this is not a coroutine scope, so I cannot launch stuff. But I can do this, I guess. And this would work. And I might want to. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, this is the good case for using a transaction, by the way.
Yeah.
So we can pass in all the IDs.
Maybe let's do this in a transaction as like prune notifications.
Yeah.
Or actually delete notifications, and it's a public thing, and we'll just put it there, and we do shit in there.
Yeah, just pass in the IDs, and then we can move these to the database.
Yep.
To the DAO, sorry.
I was just being very lazy about it. Okay, and let's go to the DAO.
And in here, you create a new spending method. Delete notifications, blah, blah, blah.
By ID. Okay, and I need to pass the IDs here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so given I'm very lazy, I am just doing why is it? Okay, it doesn't matter.
Okay, and then
IDs. Okay, and then I need to do a
transaction or a transaction should be. Yeah.
transaction. Okay.
Okay, now I think that these might need to be transformed into an abstract class, yeah. And all the other methods should be abstract.
Okay.
And so in here, you basically want to cycle for each ID and delete the notification with that same ID.
Okay, so I do IDs dot for. Okay. And here I would do.
We need to
I guess I need to create one that just deletes one.
Yes.
Okay.
And it like the last one we created, but with ID.
Yeah.
Instead.
All right. It makes more sense to do it from this one. Delete notification by ID, and this is notification ID. It's a string. Okay, where notification ID equal notification ID. Okay, that should work, right? And I just call it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from our code, we just need to.
Do I need to guard against shit, or it will just fail the transaction? How does it work?
It should fail automatically in case.
Okay. So here we just do delete notifications by ID. ID is to prove, just call it notification IDs. We might want to keep this public, so that's okay. Good.
Okay, so we want to return a status bar notification, or we want to return anything else?
We want to return a status bar notification.
Okay, that's perfect then. And then we need to store a function to store everything.
Yes. Well, just only, we only want to add to save new ones. So save notification. Oh, and we also
wait, for that you don't need to do any check. You just need to change the conflict resolution strategy on the DAO. So you don't have to check about anything.
What do you mean?
So the idea is that you don't want to save anything that is already in the database, right?
Yeah.
So you just need to insert and say case.
Although, no, the timestamp will take care of things. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I want to do this. Okay, because the service might also want to, because a notification might be dismissed, so we might also want to have the ability to delete one.
Yeah. Just in that case, it will not be deleted from the cache. So
we need to do both things.
Yeah.
So we want to do this first and then clean up the cache. I just realized we don't have that, so delete notification, notification ID.
It should be easy though. I mean, it should just be a delete.
Member function. This is string, and this is
cache file.
Cached file for notification ID dot delete, and we don't even care.
Yeah, that should do the trick.
Okay, and now we have deleted it there, and the thing is we need to do the same, essentially the same thing here, but with this
Would you
different.
expect it to delete all the notifications from the outside?
What do you mean?
So I can see swiping a notification, but I don't see the second method being called from the outside.
Yeah, I don't know. This can be private for now. It doesn't really matter.
So we don't need to delete the others.
What do you mean?
Because if we are here, it's because the file was not there in the first place.
Oh,
So we don't need to delete it.
yes, but given it costs us nothing,
That's also true.
I'm just like, kind of like just better safe than sorry. File.delete costs you nothing.
Yeah. So I have
Okay.
to ask why you prefer for instead of using for each on the list.
For each is only supposed to be used as part of a longer functional chain,
I see.
according to the Kotlin style guide.
Okay, I see.
So if you have map.something.forEach, that's fine. If
Okay.
you're only accessing something, you shouldn't. You should do it like this. That's what it says.
I see.
And I trust smarter people than me to have reasons for that.
Okay, lesson learned.
Okay, save notification. We have the notification status bar notification. I'll just call it notification because I'm lazy. And this one is so we save it in the cache first. Store status bar notification. And if that succeeds, then we do the rest. Oh yeah, we need actually I don't want to return a status bar notification here. Here I want to return a notification entry, but that's easy. Because I just do notification.map it dot to notification I need entry.
We probably don't have the context.
Yeah, but I can inject it.
Yeah. Remember to inject it as an application.
Yep. Well, just application, whatever. The reason why it needs to do this is that it needs to load shit from the resources. So it needs a context, which is annoying, but
yeah. So it returns the right thing now.
I was actually thinking that that goes there inside of the, because this does IO because it needs to load stuff. Yeah. So
better safe than sorry.
Yeah, indeed. Doesn't really make much difference anyway. This launches its own coroutine, which is fine. The only thing I would say is that I don't know what the failure scenarios would be here. Like, I want to launch a separate coroutine and I want it to do its own thing, and that's fine. Does it need to be a different job? Maybe not.
Well, probably not.
It's fine.
It's fine for the moment. We'll fix it when we need to fix it.
Yeah. And this is notification dot original notification and notification dot unique ID. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah, no, this is fine. This is fine. We'll call it status bar notification. Require not null. Only notification entries with status bar notification can be stored. Okay. Yeah, the reason why that's nullable is that it's we need it for the compose previews to be nullable, so we
Yeah.
can
We can
not
stop
set
it.
it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. So I think we are done with the repository, right? We
No,
have.
we need to save it in the database.
Oh right, yes, you're right. God. Database.roberto. Also. That goes in there. Okay, and this is Roberto dot insert notification, and we have status bar notification. We need to well, I just created db notification dot we need to pass it the notification ID, which is this. Then it has the notification.timestamp, and then it has the notification.appinfo.package name. Okay.
Okay, so we saved all this stuff, but after all, we only used
Yeah, but I might need it in the UI later to do,
yeah.
Filtering and shit, so that's okay.
Okay, so
Okay, the last thing we need to do, I don't think we want to read from the database yet because it's late and whatever. I think it's gone on too long. Is though in the service, when we get a notification posted, we want to save it in the database. Then we can just check with the database inspector that shit is there. And I think for today we're fine.
yeah, also because otherwise you will need to create a view model just to provide the UI.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like a pain in the ass. But here I do want the database.
Okay.
Because I need to inject.
Yeah.
Well, the repository actually.
I never tried.
It should work on a service. Why wouldn't it?
I expect it to work.
Private val. What do you want? I think this is fine. Okay, so let's say that get active notifications is we don't need that. Okay, so on listener connected, we just want to dump all the shit into the database. So I'm just gonna call it notifications, and this is repository dot save notification. I'll do it for each. So notifications dot for. Yep, and that's okay. And
Set a notification. Oh, yeah, it's a notification entry already.
It is, but it's complaining. Oh yes, that this is not. I need to do run blocking, I guess, here.
Yeah, in this case, I would say that the run blocking is acceptable given the time.
No, but I mean, I technically could do life cycle something, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's okay if it is blocking, I think.
It's in a service anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it does ANR, but it's a good first implementation, I would say.
Worst case scenario, it crashes, so.
Yeah. Now this, okay, this is going to be actually, well, I'm gonna leave this like this, even though it sucks, it's okay. And this is repository dot save notification, sbn dot to notification entry. This fine. This at this. Okay.
I love the label for the return. The this return. I remember the name.
Delete notification, and this is actually Yes, this is actually notification dot unique ID. Okay, so we delete it when it's removed. Okay, shall we?
Yep, let's
Moment
try.
of truth. Let's see if it works. It doesn't like transaction.
Oh yeah, must not be private. Yeah, it makes sense. Now.
It is not private.
Huh.
Oh, it must not be private. Final. Okay. Open.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Because it needs to do shit and then override it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. It
And
crashed.
crashed.
Why? Unable to create service.
That's
Oh, yes. Right. It's a service. I cannot do constructor inject.
but there should be an easy
But
way to do that with healed. Even though Fabio might be the most.
I think this is how you do it. It would make sense that you do it like this. Let's try.
Oh yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, at Android entry point.
Dagger does not. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the.
Okay, it crashed again, but for a different reason. Try to marshal a parcel that contained the binder object. Fuck, we're fucked. We cannot store shit. Oh well.
What? That was. Oh,
Contain the binder object.
what is a binder object?
It's a marshalling thing across project, across process boundaries.
Can we try to serialize it, like using the plain old Java serialization?
It's not a class we own though, so we
Or
still would need to go through this, which
Huh.
is gonna fail, unfortunately. So yeah, we cannot store it. Oh fuck. Oh
Okay,
fuck.
no, there must be a way to do that.
I think it's probably meant not to be written to disk.
But
Well, we will have to do it properly. We will have to do it properly.
but there must be a way to do that because there is with the recent um, with the latest, I guess, Android version, there is a way to see the list of recent notifications so that you can retrieve them.
Yes, but I think it's owned by the system UI, which knows all that shit and it knows how to do that.
Ah,
I think that's the trick, but
yeah,
I
probably.
don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I think for today we have done enough anyway, and I would just close it here. You're welcome to come back on Sunday if you want to finish this, but
I'm not 100% sure that I'm available on Sunday because
well, if
we
you
are.
are, if you're not, it's fine. I'll try to figure it out anyway. Hopefully, Ivan should be back on Sunday
Hopefully.
with a vengeance. It might just be the time that we need to do the proper data models before we can store them in the database, and then
Yeah.
that might be a better solution. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just
we'll see.
just remember that any type that is not a basic type of the language, so
Yeah.
string, int, float, or anything like that, needs to be converted with a type converter.
Yeah.
In case, you can also just use the Java time API. So
Yeah.
like Android 310 or whatever, and convert them so that they can be stored on the database.
I will just commit this and push it and think up a solution that sucks less.
Well, we tried.
Yeah, we tried. Thank you, Roberto, for the help setting up room. Anyway, it was very invaluable. It saved me a lot of time for sure, and I hope to have you back. Maybe once we have done the data classes properly, then we can have you back and implore for your assistance with getting all the nested stuff in there.
Okay. Yeah, it was very nice being here.
Thank
So
you very
definitely
much.
next time.
And thanks to everyone that has joined us today. We will be back online, I think, on Sunday, usual time, so 4 p.m. Europe time, 3 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. US time, East Coast, and 7 a.m. West Coast, if you fancy an early wake up on a Sunday. So thank you, Roberto. If people want to get in touch with you with questions, insults, or memes, where can they find you?
Especially for insults, they can reach out at underscore tweeds. I promise I will change that on Twitter.
But
Uh,
you never did.
yeah, I say the same thing from like 5 years now. So probably I should do that at some point.
Maybe you should have, but then you haven't. So there's that.
Yeah, also true.
Okay. So again, thanks to everyone as usual. Um, I think we should really be closing it here, and you can find us on Twitter at our Twitter at code with the ITA, not Italians because it was too long, or on Telegram if you don't do Twitter. You will see the details in a second. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.